Welcome to another powerful exchange brought to you by Wadad Liberty, where Wanderlust meets Afro-Caribbean wellness. Today, I am delighted to introduce you to Kiyode Erasto, chairman of the Ras Freeman Foundation, an architect, world traveler, and musician. Kiyode's work bridges the gap between culture and design, and I am delighted for us to kick off our conversation grounded in purpose and guided by rhythm. Kiyode, tell me about the vision for Ras Freeman Foundation when it started and then how that vision has evolved over the last decade.
Well, we started out as Nyabingi chanters going to the tabernacle, giving praise unto Haile Selassie, which is the spiritual leader of our tradition, our liberty, because Rastafari is not a religion. But then we see the need to create a community, a headquarters for the Rastafari community here in Antigua and Barbuda. So we got some lands from the government, basically an old plantation by the name of Ras Freeman Estate. And we changed the name to Ras Freeman Foundation, Unification of Rastafari. And from thence, we basically developed into creating a tabernacle there. And right now we're building the sisters' quarters for the sistren. And we are also presently building a space, a commercial space, which is going to be comprised of a dispensary, a ITEL food outlet, agricultural food outlet, and a cultural store where we have our natural products and so on.
Yeah, that's really great to hear because a lot of the times the news that we hear is dominated, we're centered around cannabis. So it's really interesting to hear that there are other initiatives that are more broadly focused on, wellness of the overall community and not just as it relates to the plants.
Exactly. Yeah, we focus heavily on agriculture right now. We have some lands in nearby Ras Freeman over east of All Saints, an area called Berks, which is more the food hub for Antigua, a lot of agriculture in that area. So we have 15 acres of land here. We presently doing agriculture. We took a pause because of all the rain we were getting the other day. And the road is very bad, but the government, again, give thanks to the government and Gaston Brown, they're coming in and we were able to get a grant and a loan where we have an excavator, we got several equipment, brush cut, we got even a drone to spray the field and other equipment. So give thanks to the government for that and the Surf Fund of Antigua. And we're gonna be carrying out from thence, we're clearing the road towards the farm. It's in a very bad shape. So we're having the excavator nice up the road. And we're gonna continue again, going into the farming, even on a more larger and grander scale. We also have land in the countryside, Harvey's, near the Buggy Peak area, where we're gonna be going into planting large area of fruit trees, fruit groves, different fruits. So, agriculture is necessary. In this time. So those are some of the things we're doing in terms of for the headquarters. We call it because we see the need for food sovereignty. Very important.
Absolutely. Yeah. So more specifically to your role as chairman, what are some of the responsibilities that you have as chairman of the board?
Well, I'm responsible to creating peace at Ras Freeman. Making sure that we fulfill our objectives. I also function as a treasurer, so I'm responsible for the finance, distribution, and hoarding of finance, because as a community, development takes a lot of money. So we have to make sure that we do the things that are going to help to bring the finance, the agriculture, the cannabis, creating products from the agriculture produce, creating products from the cannabis, so we can not just have one avenue to bring in the finance, but other avenue also. So very important, and basically to keep focus in terms of our vision going forward, you know.
Okay, really good. So it seems like you have a lot of responsibility for that overall vision and that long-term perspective on making sure that these different projects that you mentioned are completed.
Yeah, I have it's big, you know. Sometimes I'm overwhelmed because it's not easy dealing with people, especially Rasta. Because you know, Rasta brave and courageous and strong and mighty. So you have to be all that in terms of dealing with your own people. Sometimes your own people get the most trouble. Not just in a Rasta, but anywhere. So you have to basically be skilled in dealing with people, because you know, some people mightn't see the vision like how some of us see the vision, so they take it carefree and don't see how important that we fulfill our objectives and we keep things together, not cause confusion amongst us and separation. So we have to find a way to keep the unity going, you know.
So Kiyode, I know you're extremely well traveled. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the places that you've been to and how those experiences have shaped your design work in architecture or maybe even your music?
Well, if you say architecture, I must say it's China.
Yeah.
Because I've been there 5 times.
Wow. In the last how many years?
My first visit was in 2010. And then I think it was 2015, 2017, 2019.
Oh, okay. Extensive.
23. 2022, I think.
So what was it about China in particular that stood
well,
out?
you know, I work for the Development Control Authority, which is the institution here in Antigua that's responsible for approving development. So it was more of a work vibes in terms of seminar in China, which surrounds building construction and things like that, in building development. And being in China, it was great in terms of opening my perspective for design concept, because when you see the buildings in China, they're on a different level. Architecture is on a different level. Technology is on a different level. You just blow your mind. So that in itself, you know, helps me to broaden my knowledge in terms of architecture and construction technology.
Will you be implementing any of the things that you saw or learned with Ras Freeman?
Of course, I must, you know. And say, for instance, the tabernacle there now, it was I who designed the tabernacle. The building, the commercial building we're building, the cistern quarters, you know. Again, it was I who designed such. So, you know, the knowledge that I've gained, it's going towards Rastafari also, not just for the general public, but more to our people.
Okay, that's really good to hear.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of social or cultural openness, what are some of the places you've been to, or what is the place you've been to where you felt most welcome?
Most welcome.
Or most connected to?
I must say more the Caribbean countries, because I've been to China, as I just mentioned. I've been to Switzerland. Switzerland is great. I perform in Switzerland. England is nice too. I perform in England. I perform in Guyana. Guyana is a good place. But I love traveling the Caribbean island, you know, seeing the different cultures and experience the different settings like rivers. I love rivers, I love nature, I love mountains. I like to be in nature, I like the hiking, you know. So, you know, Antigua is a place where you just have more beaches. So I like to travel, go to countries where you have a lot of rivers and so on. So I must say the Caribbean for me.
Okay, that's really good to hear.
So there's one, I would love to go to Africa too.
Oh, you haven't been yet? For some reason I thought you'd been.
Everybody always thinks so. But I wanted to go last year. I'm trying to see if I can make it this year.
Okay.
So,
Well, I'm looking forward to hear about it when you get back.
Yeah, definitely.
So tell me, how has Rastafari influenced your music in terms of your songwriting, your messaging?
Well, for me as an artist, I deal with more edutainment, entertaining, but educating also. So my music is on a different part. It's more like a spiritual upliftment. For one's listening, it gives them a sense of empowerment, to believe in themselves, to be courageous, to be bold in life, to see yourself as the one, to see yourself as Christ, you know, because the Almighty lives in us. So my music gives empowerment. You know, I just sang a soca song, you know, it's carnival season here in Antigua. I have a song by the name of Burkina Faso, so which I'm glorifying Ibrahim Traore, which is the leader down there, and he's doing marvelous work in uniting the people of Burkina Faso and uniting Africa.
Right.
Because he's not a puppet leader. He's taking control and telling Europe to back off, you know, let we run our country. So when I was singing the song, I was saying, Wagadogo, Wagadogo. And when I came off the stage, bless her, my virgin come and say, well, the people and they want to know stupid song up they sing, saying Wagadogo, Wagadogo. So that shows that our people, they're not conscious. They don't know what's going on around them as African beings, what's going on in Africa. You know, they don't, some people don't know Burkina Faso, they will say, what's that? They don't know it's a state in Africa. They don't know Ouagadougou is the capital of Burkina Faso. So we are in a bad state as a people. You know, we need to know that we are sovereign people, you know, and we are in a state of neo-colonialism where we are being basically enslaved financially, economically, and in other ways. And we need to rise out of that grip that Europe has for us. So my song, you know, it teaches you to be awakened of what's going on around you and to take control of your destiny. So,
Absolutely.
so you got to be conscious, really, on a conscious vibes to really understand my music.
Absolutely. So in regards to music and connecting, like you said, there's a big disconnect between us in the region, not just Antigua, but regionally, and then, you know, our history and, you know, what's happening in Africa. A lot of the times when we see, you know, news about Ras Freeman, for example, there's a lot of focus on the elders.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you're doing or some of the initiatives that the foundation has in place to help bridge that gap and make sure that the youths are being involved and they have a voice and they're also helping shape the direction of the foundation?
Well, you know, the Rastafari creed teaches us to let the hungry be fed, the naked clothed, the sick nourished, the aged protected, and the infants be cared for. So in that sense, you know, we have to fulfill the creed by setting up a building for the elders, you know, because I myself, I'm getting younger and younger. So I have to look out not only for the elder ones, which are age above me, but for the ones that are going to be coming into eldership. So we must have a space to care for the elders. So right now, that is one of our main objectives in securing not only a tabernacle or building to do business, but we have to create that space for the elders. For the youths, we more put that care in the woman, in the queens, for having gatherings in educating the youth, teaching the youths. For instance, the government gave us aid, give thanks to Gaston Brown and the government, who built a school for the Rastafari community down in Big Creek. Presently, the school is not functioning. A lot of the youths, because the school was basically functioning on a primary level, so a lot of the youths have outgrown that and now in secondary school. So that's another level we have to reach again in Rastafari. In the future, we have to provide that secondary education. But yes, the youths we have to set up workshops for the youths to teach them to continue our culture, to show how it is important, for Rastafari to exist and to teach and to aid, and they must come. Because Rastafari is basically shepherds amongst the people. So when we are gone, we must have a continuation. The youths must know their culture, know what they're here to, what they're here for as Rastafari, and to teach the world of Rastafari love, of Rastafari, togetherness, so that we can preserve the world, because the world is in a hell state. And Rasta really come to unite the world towards a Zion connection, or a Zion concept in terms of good health, good food, spirituality, in terms of seeing yourself one with the Almighty. Because, the world teaches that God is somewhere outside, when everything is within you. You have the power. You can command and create anything you want. So the power is in you. So that, we want the youths to know these things, to even contribute to the wider society, so they must be educated. Our youths, we deem education as a high priority.
Absolutely. So to wrap all of this up that we've been discussing, what would be, or what is a mantra that you live by, or you stand by, or that you think, resonates well with your goals in life or your mission?
Well,
or if you have multiple.
A mantra. I think that one should be, brave and courageous in fulfilling their destiny, because, all of us are basically God manifested. Your God manifested as Stephanie to come and teach. I know you do yoga and these things, and whatever else you do, to come and teach and inspire. I am God manifested as Kiyode Erasto to come and teach and inspire through music, through Rastafari, in liberating this consciousness and teaching the world. So, I basically, my mantra is to see yourself as a leader, as a noble inspirer of the God sentiments that we should bring to the world right now and get rid of this hell state the world in, basically. So it's to be Christ, basically. I'm saying be Christ, and I'm not talking Jesus, because Christ is a title. Christ is a consciousness, and the world is in need of the awakening of these consciousness from the people, because it's our birthright to be Christ. When we become Christ, that's the totality. And the world is crying out for us to rise our God self, to rise our higher self, and to be the one, to be Christ, to bring healing to not ourselves, but to the people.
Okay, well, that's a powerful message to end on, bringing healing to the people. Kiyode, I want to thank you again for taking the time to chat with me today. If anybody is interested in connecting with Kiyode, please feel free to reach out to him on Instagram at Kiyode Erasto. As I mentioned before, you can also find him as chairman of the Ras Freeman Foundation right here in Antigua. Kiyode, thank you so much.
Give thanks and praise. Good interview. Blessings.
Find your peace where the palm trees sway. Breathe in deep, let the worries stray. Wadalidity's the way. Oh, wadalidity. Feel the vibe. Stretch your soul, let your spirit thrive. Wellness calling, step inside. Oh, wadalidity. Roll your mat where the sun meets sand.